So as a startup business or as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, so let's say once they're ready to take the plunge and kind of, get more exposure and they want to get on stages, what's a good tip or some tips to help them find these stages?
Sure. Okay. So the first thing you need to do, guys, and actually there's like a whole blog post about this on our website. I could send it to Peter after, but set a goal. How many stages do you want to speak on in the next 90 days? And it can be your own or it can be someone else's. But if you don't define a goal of what you want to happen, you don't turn on the flashlight for your brain to look for the opportunities. So set the goal. Like the very first goal I ever set before I started speaking was, I think it was like I wanted 12 stages in 90 days and I ended up doing like 18 and 45, right? So set the goal. Then I literally just put a post on your Facebook page. I'm looking for stages. Here's what I speak about. Who do you know? When you're networking, instead of trying to sell people your stuff, because let's be real, people go to networking events and they're trying to sell you their stuff and you're trying to sell them their stuff. Instead of doing that, go, hey, who do you know that has a stage? I want to get in front of more people. How do I get a stage, right? So the biggest thing is do not wait for the opportunity to come to you. Okay, so that's something a lot of entrepreneurs do. They're like, okay, if we do this a lot, right? Like if then, okay, if I get enough people to like my Facebook page, then enough people are going to know who I am. They're going to start asking me to speak on stages. And I was like, yes, I agree with this, right? No more if thens. Like you put yourself out there. First of all, does your Facebook profile say you were a speaker? Because guys, if you go look at my personal profile, it says I'm a speaker. Okay, so are you letting people know you're a speaker? Are you putting yourself out there as a speaker, right? Are you talking about the fact that you're looking for speaking opportunities? Second, there are like tons of Facebook groups where people are always posting that they're looking for speakers for their podcasts. So for the ladies that are, for guys, I don't know about you, but the ladies, I'll give you, there's a really large Facebook group for women entrepreneurs. It's called Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. There are people in there every day looking for speakers on their podcasts. But you could also do Google searches. So either local or just a Google search of like speaking opportunities. You can set up, for those of you that are familiar with the tech of a Google alert, you should have Google alert set up for like speaking opportunities in your city. There are some really great, but honestly, just do a search of like podcasts you would love to be on and go look for them. Now, the other thing you can do is Meetup. So Meetup groups, most of them have gone from in-person to online and they're looking for speakers, right? So do a search of your local meetup groups, reach out to the organizer and say, hey, are you looking for speakers? Let them know what you present about. Tell them how it would be valuable to the people that attend their events. Because typically people that run networking events are looking for speakers, right? They don't want to be the only person speaking all the time. In fact, doing your own meetup group is a great way to establish your authority by running the event, but having other people deliver the content, just like this call here, right? Having other people deliver the content so you don't have to be the one trying to think and deliver content all the time, but you establish yourself as an authority. You have a stage. So as soon as you have a stage, other people want to know who you are because there are so many people that want to get in front of groups of people to speak, right? So look for your local meetup groups, start your own meetup group. Guys, make your own stages. It is so easy right now with virtual. Like I said, if you decide to throw together an event and only one person shows up, that's amazing because that one person is interested in exactly what you have to say. And that's so much different than going to a networking event where it's just a bunch of people coming together trying to sell each other their stuff, right? Like you become really targeted. The person is there because they're interested in your message and whatever the name of your event was. That person will very easily turn into a client much faster than you think, right? Plus, if only one or two people show up, it's a great way for you to get comfortable being the presenter, right? So like, it's really how you think about it. When we host our own events, we never worry about how many people showed up. Like we promote it the same way every time. And if we get 4 people that sign up, we don't cancel it. We still show up for those 4 people. We're like, those are the 4 people that were meant to be with us that day, right? So like universities, colleges often are looking for speakers. If you have a really inspirational story, you could be a great keynote speaker for graduations. I did that last year. Let's see, what else? I talked about networking events. Yeah, make the post on your Facebook group. Honestly, there's so many places to find stages. It's about set that goal because what's going to happen is it's like your brain has now, it's going to turn on the flashlight. It's going to look for the opportunities. It's going to start, as soon as someone makes a post about a stage or a speaking opportunity, your brain, instead of like where you normally would have scrolled, your brain's going to be, oh, wait, stop. That's one of our goals. Let's go investigate this. Let's go apply for this, right? And it will happen much faster than you think. Much faster than you think.
That is excellent. Yeah, lots of golden nuggets here. Thank you so much. Peter, did you have any questions?
I have a lot, but I think you talk so.
we got to have you here again. Yeah, it's too much good stuff here.
That's okay. We'll throw one more at me. Throw one more at me.
Actually, I have to.
Okay.
I have to ask you to. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
First,
I'll stay if everyone else is too.
Yeah, if you have a pre-stage ritual.
Pre-stage ritual. Yes. So one, I already talked about visualization. Two, you need to warm up your tool. So your voice, your jaw, it's really important. A lot of people don't think about this, right? So as speakers, so actors do this, right? If you're going to be speaking, you need to warm up your voice, especially if you're going to be presenting for a longer time. So like my business partner and I do a 3-day event. Like if I don't warm up before, I'll lose my voice, right? So tongue twisters are a really great way to kind of like loosen. So we tend to carry a lot of stress, people like humans, in our jaw. And what happens is the muscles get really tight and it affects your enunciation, right? So your words will start to blur together a little bit at the end and the beginning. So doing some tongue twisters, a really great other little tip is like if you take the very tip of your tongue and push it up against your top teeth at the back, just for like about 30 seconds, it also helps loosen up the muscles kind of at the back of the throat and the jaw. So yeah, like warm up your muscles. And if you're feeling nervous, do something cardio. So like some jumping jacks, or if you're at a venue where they have stairs, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Anything you can do to get your heart rate accelerated, because what happens then is your brain no longer thinks it's in fear. It thinks things are pumping because you're doing some activity. So it's like a little biohack to kind of eliminate some of the fear. So like if I'm doing a call like this and I was feeling for whatever reason a little anxious, I would literally just like step around my computer and do like 5 jumping jacks, just like get it flowing, and then some deep breathing, like deep, like you're blowing up a balloon, because again, we breathe really shallow for like most of our day. And so you need to get the breath like really going so that your blood flow and circulation is going really well. Great question.
And if you have a sequence, by the way, thank you for the answer, first of all.
Yes.
If you have a sequence that you use during the speech, like during the stage, you know, if you have like a certain thing like opening, engagement, story time, like a storyline.
Absolutely. That's a great question again, because I can't believe I haven't talked about this. So guys, I'm going to give you the simplest system. So if you've ever heard of a signature talk, right? Like you hear that in the speaking industry. So in our business, we call it a profitable signature talk, because we don't want it to be just a talk. We want it to be a profitable talk. So I'm going to give you 3 steps. A great talk, it doesn't matter if it's a Facebook Live, it doesn't matter if it's a 60 or 90-minute presentation. You're going to have a story that's going to be your opener. That's exactly what we did at the beginning of this call, right? A really great story of why you do what you do, right? Because remember, this isn't just about like a random story that happened to you like when you were 5 years old. This is a story that's going to connect you with the audience. So it could be why you do what you do, or like a really pivotal moment that got you to how you solve the problem you solve for your ideal clients, okay? Then the second step is content. Now, a really great talk, this is different because it's an interview, but a really great talk will have 3 pieces of content and nothing more, okay? Your talk is not about overwhelming people. Yes, you are an expert. Yes, you have a ton of content, but that will not take them to the path where they're ready to, because remember, people working with you, they have to make a decision. And an overwhelmed brain will not make a decision to buy. So if you overwhelm them with too much content, you're doing yourself a disservice and them a disservice. And there are a lot of people that think, I am just going to go and I'm going to give all the content, and people will be so amazed by how much I know that they are going to be ready to work with me. And that's not the case. You just overwhelm them. It's too much. I've seen it over and over again. In fact, like one of the mentors we worked with, he wasn't a speaking coach. He was a Facebook ads guy. And we kept saying to him, you're overwhelming people. You're so amazing and they should be working with you, but you're overwhelming them with the content of what you know about Facebook ads, right? Over and over again. People were not buying because they were just like, whoa, this is too much. And then number 3, you're going to have a really great offer. So depending on, it could be something free. So if you're not allowed to sell, you could make a free offer. It could be your lead magnet, right? Your freebie. It could be a call to action. So it could be join my Facebook group, right? Like these are the things you do when you're doing Facebook Live. Join my Facebook group. Go give me a like on YouTube or subscribe on YouTube, right? So anything you do should be continuing the journey, right? Don't just go. A lot of people do this when they're speaking live. They go, thank you so much for having me. It has been so amazing. Guys, I'm just going to be standing at the back of the room. If anyone wants to come talk to me, I'll be over there. And I made this mistake. So many times. No, you need to be like really clear. Here's the next step you can take so we can continue this journey together, right? Now, if it's your own event or if you're working with a partner where you're allowed to sell at their event, then you would do your signature offer. So whatever that offer is, if you're doing a 60 to 90 minute talk, you could do an offer for a paid product up to about $2,000. Once you're really experienced and really comfortable with selling from stage, 2,000 is kind of like the max in a 60 to 90 minute talk. Most people would do like 197, 297, or 497 is kind of what you see, sometimes 997 for people that are really experienced speakers. But absolutely, you could sell like a 297, 497 product in a 60 to 90 minute talk, right? And for those of you that have been on webinars, you've probably seen this happen. So now you know exactly what people are doing. You can start funnel hacking their webinars. So they're gonna open with a story. They're gonna give you like 3 pieces of content, and they're gonna give you some type of call to action or offer at the end. You'll see it over and over again. Now, when you go into more advanced techniques, there's a couple other little pieces peppered in there, but I don't have time to tell you guys all of them. But that's, if you start with those 3 foundational pieces, it will set you light years ahead of what most people are doing as speakers, because they're either telling way too much story or way too much content, and they have no call to action or offer at the end. Nothing. They're just like, come if, and don't use the word if, you guys. Don't make it conditional. I hate when I hear speakers say if this calls to you. No, like I know someone here is meant to work with me. So here's what you do next. Here is the next step. Let's do this, right? Let's go for this. Please don't say if. It doesn't make anyone feel special, because then they're saying, well, am I interested in what this person just, right? Like maybe I'm not. Like, no, like go for it. Be like, yes, I know someone here is meant to work with me.